Hi, hello. I am TavonaStarO, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about the law of assumption and all things manifestation. It is my intention that I get to shift your perspective, your thinking, your mind in a direction that allows you to experience what you want to experience in your day-to-day life. So if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, hey, welcome back. Thank you for your support. Um, And Happy New Year. It is officially 2025, and this is the first episode of the new year. So I'm really excited about that. If you are hearing this, that means that you made it and you made it alive. So, congratulations to you for existing, for awareness, for being alive. Congratulations, God. You did that. Um, and secondly, send up prayers and good affirmations for LA and all of the things that are going on that side of the world. Um, and yeah, hello. um, I tried to record this last night, but I was a little sleepy and I was worried about the microphone going out. It was a lot of things going on, but I'm here and I want to have a moment of transparency. It took me a while to get back to YouTube in the new year because um, I watch YouTube regularly, okay? And every time I come on YouTube, I see videos where people have thousands upon thousands of views, and I don't. And my approach to YouTube was, you know what? I love recording, I love hearing my voice. Like, I just love the whole process of like recording for YouTube. So my initial approach was to just show up and not worry about the results. But as much as I am God, I'm also a human being. And sometimes when I'm uploading videos and I do get like a glance at like the analytics and all the numbers and things. And yeah, like forget scratching the surface. Like I have not even touched the tip, okay, the tip of the iceberg with views. And I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I was supposed to record, like I said, and it was just triggering. It just kind of feels like, why even keep doing it? Why keep recording? Why keep showing up if, there are no results? Um, but the truth is two things. Number one, I've always made attempts at like podcasting or YouTube, social media. And I'm the type of person that I'll do something for a while, a little while. And if I don't see results right away, then I quit. Like I give up. And so I've been known to like give up. I've been known to be inconsistent. And the second thing is, this channel is about the law of assumption. And one of the principles within the law of assumption is when you are manifesting intentionally, one of the things that you don't do is take your cue, or you don't let the 3D or the circumstances or the physical world validate what you are manifesting. So in this case, you know, loving to do YouTube, right? And, manifesting more views and manifesting being monetized and things like that. But coming on YouTube and being swayed by the lack of views, right? That is a no-no when manifesting. Like the whole point is to decide on what it is that you want and focus on that and not the lack of what it is that you want. You're supposed to focus on what you want and talk to yourself and think as though you already have it, no matter what you see on the outside. So I'm here because I'm not going to let the 3D run me. I run the 3D because this is my reality and I'm God in my reality. So I'm back. I'm back and I just want to be transparent about that. So there you have it. I had made a point to um, at least schedule about 2 videos a week. So I'm just going to carry that. I'm going to continue in that for 2025. And I'm excited. I got some things that I have planned. One of the things is I have an ebook called Manifesting Your Ideal Relationship Valentine's Edition. And at the beginning of February, I'm thinking about doing like a series for the 14 days up to Valentine's Day, where I'm, of course, promoting the ebook, but also I want to talk about like what goes into manifesting love and relationships and an SP because I've been through the process myself. Not that manifesting is a process because it's not, but I've done it. I've manifested an SP, a romantic SP. I've manifested several other SPs who are not romantic. So I think it'd be cool to do like a 14-day series on that. So I'm excited. I have some things planned for the channel. Sometimes you'll see me, sometimes you will hear me, but I am here nonetheless. So yeah. And so we're gonna kick the new year off with a discussion about revision, okay, and its power. All right, revision. So let me just backtrack. This is something that I like to do because I don't want to assume that everybody that's going to hear my voice knows what knows about the law of assumption and things like that. So I like to give a brief um just overview of what the law of assumption is. So that we're all on the same page. All right. So the law of assumption is just a universal law, much like the law of gravity. Okay. Everybody, no matter your race, no matter your religion, no matter sex, your weight, like your age, none of that matters. Everybody on earth is subject to the law of gravity. Okay. It's the same way with the law of assumption. All right. Everybody is subject to the law of assumption because it is a universal law. Like the law of sowing and reaping, the law of polarity, there are several universal laws that you can look into. Um, but the law of assumption is a universal law. And what it states is that whatever you assume to be true is going to be true for you. Okay. And an assumption is just a belief that you have without proof. All right. Think about it. You make assumptions every day. You make assumptions about yourself, assumptions about other people. You make assumptions about everything. Okay. And some of those assumptions we've been programmed or born with, born to believe. Um, and so what happens is these assumptions, they become evident or they manifest in your living experience, okay, your day-to-day life. And so um that's what the law of assumption is. All right. And so Neville Goddard is kind of like one of the forefathers or like the founding fathers, the godfathers of the law of assumption. And so that's what it's all about. Okay. And so within the law of assumption is this principle about revision. Okay. So we're going to get into that. Um, Let me just say, I love revision. And coming toward the end of 2024 into 2025, I've been seeing a lot of law of assumption content creators talking about revision because people are revising their 2024. And so we're going to get into it. So I want to start with what the word revise means. Now, if you don't know by now, I love words and I also love definitions because, like I said, it gives clarity, okay? And make sure that we're all on the same level of understanding, that we're all on the same page, all right? Because you can say one word and it may have different, different things may come to mind for whoever's involved, for different people. So I want to be clear on the definition just so that we all have the same understanding and we're all on the same page. So the word revise means to amend or alter. Okay. It means to alter something already written or printed in order to make corrections, improve, or update. Um, Revision is just the noun or the act of revising. Okay. And excuse me, the word revise comes from the Latin word revisere. I hope I'm saying it right. And it means to look back at or revisit. But I love this one. There is another origin that is revidere, and it means to see again, okay, or it means to review. Okay, review. Okay, so excuse me. With that in mind, here is what revision is about when it comes to the law of assumption. Okay, revision is literally um, altering a past event or a past conversation or something that took place in your past that you want to change, and not necessarily change, but you want to alter, or you would have liked that it went another way. With revision, you can alter that event that's already occurred, okay, by just the power of your words and your thoughts. Like, that's it. And so we're going to get into that. So, here is here's the thing. All right. Now, it's not necessarily time traveling, right? And the truth is, like, when it comes to the past, let's just start with the past, right? What is the past? Like, just take a moment and think about what the past is. Okay. The past. The past is literally like gone, right? And when you think about the past, when you think about like your childhood, when you think about high school, when you think about grammar school, right? When you think about things that have already passed away, I won't even go back that far to childhood. Let's say right now it's 11:59 a.m. Central Time where I am. I can't go back to 10 a.m. because that actual time is literally gone, right? I can't even go back to the 90s. And I was born in 1990, okay, in the eighth month of the 90th year, right in the start of the best era of all eras. Um, but I can't go there. Like, you think about the past, you literally cannot like physically go back to a time that is already past. You can't go back to an event that is already past. You cannot go back to a conversation that is already past. Like, you physically cannot go there. So, what keeps the past alive today is your memory. Think about it. Like, that's the only thing that keeps the past in the present is our memory of the past. You think about museums, and I am a museum girl. I love a good museum. You think about art from, like, I don't know, the medieval times, and you think about even, at home where you got photos, like family photos, family um home videos. If you grew up in that time, home videos is everything. Now we got social media, but a good old camcorder, baby. On a VHS, yes. Everything. It was everything. You just had to be there. But like, you cannot physically go back to the past. Now you cannot. And so the only thing that keeps the past in the present is your memory. And one thing that Neville Goddard said is that the past is an imaginal act. And it's true, because the only way you can remember the past is in your mind, it's in your imagination. And research has even proved that when we recount things from the past, it's not always credible because we can change it, like we can alter it with our imagination. We don't remember everything. Because it's already happened already, like it's the past. And the only thing that keeps that alive is your memory. And so, because your past is literally brought to the present by your imagination, you can use your same imagination to alter the past by imagining whatever happened in the past differently. Okay? So, like the definition said, to alter something already written or printed. Okay? But I'm going to use that revidere. Lord, I'm probably messing that all up. It's Latin. I don't speak Latin. Um, I am a brown girl from the south side of Chicago, baby. I do not speak Latin. Um, but it means, I'm gonna go back to that Latin origin that means to see again. So, because the past is alive in your imagination, you can literally go back into your imagination to whatever occurred. So whatever happened, it could be 5 minutes ago, it could be 5 years ago, right? Or more, right? Whatever just passed, right? That you want to alter, you can go back and you can go into your imagination and you can see that event again. you can see it again and you can imagine it differently. So, you know, a lot of people got into the law of assumption because they wanted to, repair a relationship between them and a romantic SP, right? Let's say y'all fell out, you had words. You can go back to that event, right? In your imagination, you can sit there and think about what happened. And instead of seeing what happened the way that it actually happened, you can choose in your imagination that it went another way. You can select a different outcome. And then you can start to affirm something like, you know what, I've always been loved, or we've always been together. We've always been in a perfect relationship. That actually never happened. Or you can visualize, like I said, you can visualize the event going a different way. So instead of him saying whatever he said and you saying whatever you said, you can completely like erase that. Like you can just choose that never even like none of that. You can remember the event in a way where you never had words. Like there was never nothing to be mad about, like nothing ever happened. You never broke up. And you can do it with everything. If you lost something, you can go back and affirm, you know what? I found it. It was never even lost. It was here the whole time. Um, if there's a court situation, like whatever it is, like you can start to affirm things like that never happened. It's always been this way, the way that you would prefer to go. Um, I don't remember, like there's no memory of that. And it can sound like you're gaslighting yourself, but the truth is, what's happening is whatever occurred did occur, right? But because there are infinite realities, okay? So right now, if you're listening to me, you could be driving, you can be eating, you can be, sitting in the bed, you can be listening to me in the shower, whatever. But there are other versions of like you listening to me or you hearing me. So, like I said, you can be sitting on the couch, but there is another reality where you are listening to this and you're riding a bike, or you're listening to this and you're on a flight, or I don't know, you're not listening to this at all. I don't know, but there are like infinite like realities. And so even though whatever happened occurred in one reality, there is another reality where whatever occurred never even happened. And so instead of remembering the event that occurred in the way that you would have rather, you don't prefer, you get to select, you get to remember, okay? You get to look again, you get to see that event again, and you get to select the outcome that you prefer out of innumerable outcomes. And the more that you continue to remember it the way that you prefer that it go, the circumstances now are going to align with the outcome that you selected in your imagination. And so that's how revision works. Okay. That's how it works. So, like I said, it could be a conversation from 5 minutes ago. You ran into a neighbor and they was rude. You can be like, you know what? That never even happened. She's always nice to me. She didn't say that. I know she didn't say that. She didn't say that to me because people always respect me. I'll give you some examples um, from myself. So before Christmas, I brought my sister a gift, and my sister lives in Atlanta, Georgia. I've never been to her house. I've never been there. My sister she pretty much just got back into our family, so I've never been in her house. I haven't seen her in years. So that's actually a SP manifestation story, manifestation success story in my own life. But anyway, I got her a gift, and because I had never gotten anything mailed to her house, her apartment, I didn't know like how it was gonna go. So, um, I ordered her gift, and I started to worry, like, okay, if Amazon drops this gift off outside, like, what if somebody takes it, right? So the gift was originally supposed to be delivered to her on a Sunday. And when I saw that, I was like, great, she'll be at home, she's gonna be at work, so she can get it, right? The gift ended up the delivery ended up getting delayed till Monday. I was like, "Oh my god, my sister's gonna be at work. Like, who's gonna get her gift?" So Amazon came, and as soon as they dropped it off, I text her like, "Your package is here, right? Your package was delivered." When I tell you, it wasn't even 5 minutes later, my sister texted me and was like, "The girl, they took it." I'm like, "They took it." I'm thinking, "Oh my god, that was fast." And I'm thinking, "Oh my god, like I did that because I was so worried about like somebody taking her stuff." So as soon as I realized that I manifested her gift being taken, I went into revision right away. And I was like, "Okay, don't panic." I said, "You know what?" I was telling her, I'm texting her and I'm like, "When you get home, just, look for it and just let me know what happens." She got home and it wasn't there. And so while all of this is going on, I'm corresponding with Amazon. And because they had just made the delivery, there was like, I had to wait like a certain amount of time before they could like do something about it. They really were just giving people time to like find it before it was like officially, missing or whatever. And so the next day, so that evening when they took her gift, in my mind, I'm just saying, you know what? They're gonna tell me that she's gonna tell me that she found it. And I started imagining that I was on FaceTime with her and she was like, "Yeah, girl, we found it. It was da da da." And she's telling me like all of the things that happened. But long story short, like they found it. And so that's just something that I was imagining. The next day, I was just like, you know what? If if she don't find it by whatever time, then I got till like 8 p.m. to let Amazon know that the gift has not been found. But they found it. Like I kept repeating, like, they found it. They found it. They found it. They found it. And so later on, my niece FaceTimed me and she was like, "Hey Nana, is this the package?" And so she started describing it and they found the gift. They found the gift because some kids took the gift. And as quick as they took it, they brought it right back. And they brought it back because I revised that they found it. So it all worked out. And even, talking to my niece, it happened the way that I envisioned. It just wasn't my sister. But my niece ended up FaceTiming me and she was like, "Yeah, we found it." Like the conversation went the way that I imagined it going. So that's just one story of revision. Um, but that's pretty much how it works. If you are not familiar with revision, I would just say go to YouTube, look up revision success stories. Sammy Ingram has a lot of them. Another lady I like named Hedley Dorenzi. She has revision success stories too that where people use her IM technique to revise. And so she has some success stories of her own, but that's pretty much how it goes. And people are revising their 2024. So if you feel like 2024 was, hard or tough or it wasn't a good year, you can literally decide, like, you know what, 2024 is actually a great year. I manifested everything I wanted to manifest. Like it was popping. I made all the money I wanted to make. I had the friends I wanted to have. I got to travel. Like you can revise because you are that powerful. And the truth is like, and this I was thinking about this last night and it really helped me understand how, I don't know if you're familiar with like, if you ever seen like other law of assumption content. A lot of creators would, when they would talk about time, they would be like, time isn't real, time doesn't exist. And I used to get so caught up with that because I'm like, what do you mean? Time is everywhere. Like I got a time I gotta get up for work. I got a time I gotta go to break. I got a time I gotta, like time is all around us. So how do I not worry about the time? And what I've come to understand is like when it comes to revision, you know, time really doesn't matter because all of this is in your imagination. And because your imagination, your mind is not constrained, is not restricted by time. It's not. In your imagination, you can do anything. You can have anything. You can do anything. You can be anything. You can go anywhere. You can do all, like you're limitless in your imagination. And the truth is, we think that reality is reality, but we only know reality as we know it because of imagination. Like everything around you started as a concept. It started in somebody's imagination. From the clothes on your back, the shoes on your feet, the bed you sleep in, where you live. Like that started as an idea. It started as an idea or a concept in somebody's imagination. The Bible says that, um, everything that's made are made of things that do not appear. They're made of things that we cannot see. And it's the imagination that hardens into matter. So all of the things that we know today that are made of matter started with imagination. So imagination is not some kindergarten Barney, you know, juvenile thing. It's very important. And the only reason why, a lot of us live in the reality that we live in is because we forgot to imagine. We forget to dream. Life happens, or I don't want to repeat that because life don't happen to me. But um, I don't know. We're programmed to believe that life happens. Um, but what I love about the law of assumption is it it really turns you toward like the power within you, like this God-given, you were born with this power behind your eyes to imagine anything, and it will appear, it will manifest in your reality. And time don't have nothing to do with your imagination. It does not. Time, um, geographical locations, like nothing can stop you from anything in your imagination. And that is powerful. That is why revision is powerful. That's why. So give it a try, okay? Visualize, affirm, script, um, meditate, but try it out. Think about something that you will want to change or want to alter. I'm not going to say change, but something that you would have rather to experience differently, and practice it. Tell yourself, you know what? That never happened. Or I've always been wealthy, right? If you've always had an issue with money, you can decide, you know what? I've always had money. Money's always been easy to come by. For me, I feel like I've always had an issue with like gathering people. I've always had an issue gaining followers. Like I have despised social media for so long because I feel like it's the hardest thing in the world to get followers. But today, that's not the case. Like I've always had thousands of followers. I've always gotten thousands of views on YouTube. Like I've always gone viral. What? I've never had an issue getting followers. What is so easy? Like, huh? If you're struggling with acne and hyperpigmentation, what? No, I'm not struggling with acne and hyperpigmentation. I've always had clear skin. I was born with clear skin. I was born with pretty clear skin. Like, if you want an appearance change, right? You were always the plus size kid, you can decide I was actually born skinny. Like, I've never had an issue with my weight ever. Like, just whatever, if y'all if you've always been ghosted, you can decide, you know what, I've always actually been committed to. I've never been ghosted by anybody. They didn't ghost me. He don't even have a memory. Like he cannot even remember ever ghosting me at all because he's just always been in love with me. He's always loved me. I've always been the one for him. He's always been crazy about me. What? Who got ghosted? Not me. That ain't happened to me. That did not happen to me because it didn't happen to the one who has. Did you hear what I said? And I didn't even make that up. I got that from Autumn XO, honey. Autumn XO is another really great YouTuber. I got that from Autumn XO. She's coaching me about manifesting an SP, and I'm complaining like, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm still aware that he's still not here yet. And so she's like, huh? She's like, that's the version of you who is still in lack, but the version of you who has your SP, they're looking at you like, what do you mean he's not here? He never left. You have to see that he never left. And that's the power of revision. And the great thing, the great thing about it is when you select the outcome that you would have preferred, it automatically does away with that old story. So when people are manifesting the SP and they're struggling with the old story, revision will help you. When you select the new outcome, that you never broke up, you never stopped talking, you've never been ghosted, like you never stopped being together, but you've always been together. At the point when you decide that you've always been together, you immediately, instantly do away with anything prior to that. And you'll be surprised. Not only will it leave your memory, but it will leave the other person's memory, and they won't have any recollection of it. Would just be like it never happened. I remember manifesting, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say because I'm already 30 minutes in, but when I decided that I wanted my nephew back in my life, one day I was like, you know what, I'm ready for him to be back. And I said, you know what, we're just gonna move on like nothing ever happened. We had a conversation and we moved on like nothing ever happened. All of those years of us not being in contact, it just went away like that. And if you see us, you would never know that we went years without speaking because it never happened. It literally, like, that never even occurred. Like, we are now in a timeline where we never like we never separated, we never lost contact with each other. That is the power of revision. So again, like I said, research it yourself, look up success stories, and once you gather enough information, try it on your own, test it out because you are God, okay? And this is one of your superpowers, all right? Revision is your superpower, all right? It's all in you, okay? You are limitless. You are limitless, all right? And if you have any success, which I'm sure you will, feel free to get in my comments and tell me what happened. I'll be excited to hear about it. But until then, you will hear from me in the next episode, okay?